Hola a todos. Hello everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. A buen dia, in fact. I want to pose a question today. It's a question some philosophers have dared to ask. Only few Christians have dared to ask it themselves. Of course, some they've had experience and they say they need God. Others say, we need God, absolutely. They were raised in Christianity or whatever, and they're just used to it. They're used to having God. Today I'm going to pose the question, do we need God? I say no. I know, you're going to be a little shocked with this answer. As a Christian, you don't need God? That's crazy. Why do you follow him then? Here's the thing. When I was in, 8th grade. When I was in 8th grade, I didn't go through a suicidal episode. I went through an existentialist episode in where I felt very depressed, but it wasn't just because of that. I was going through depression at the time, but in addition to that, I was going through existentialism. I believed that life didn't really have a lot of meaning, and even before that, I didn't, and when you get into that, when you believe that there's no answer to suffering, that there is no hope beyond life, and all we have in this world is this world, sure, maybe you value others around you more or whatever, but also you can go down the existentialist and nihilist route in where you say life is pointless. Mother Teresa and Hitler end up in the same hole, the same compost pile. So what is the point to life? I say this, you don't need God for moral life, to live a moral life, to live a good life. You don't need God. But if you want to objectively live a moral life, if you want to know that your things mean something, that the things you do on this earth mean something, because ultimately everything will fade. All right, the grass below me will die. That tree, that shrub behind me will die. I myself will die. The clothes in my body will wither. This phone that I'm recording on, it'll 1,000 years from now, it will be gone. Something will happen to it. The wristbands on my arm, though this rubber, this plastic, though it has a lower rate of decay than that of, paper or cotton, guess what? It will decay eventually. Everything will cease. For there was a start to the universe, and I believe there will be an end to all. There will be a rebirth, so to say. And anyway, I was having a conversation today with my chess coach, and it got really philosophical really quick. He believes, no judgment here, I'm just going to tell you what he believes. He believes in some higher power. He said he's had spiritual experiences, and he says for him, going into the forest is like that of a Christian going to church. No, I was very intrigued. I asked him, do you want to get closer to this spiritual being? And I wasn't like offering, because that would be like rude, jumping on an opportunity, as much as I little wanted to, as a Christian. But I was very respectful. I just want to talk to him. When I talk to people about religion, I don't do it from a place of judgment or like I'm trying to force God on you. I do it from I want to know. Because truthfully, I'm a Christian by means of analysis. A Christian by means of logic and experience. In my experience, God has provided for me. God has done things for me. And it's not because of anything I did. I didn't pray harder and things happened more so. Prayer is an experiment in faith. A lot of people get that wrong. If I pray for you, it's not necessarily that all of your problems are going to go away. But it's about faith. However, Jesus does say, all right? He does say that by faith, things happen. Okay? He said to his disciples, if you look to that mountain, if you have enough faith. No, he says if you even have a mustard seed of faith, you can move that mountain. Now, was that more metaphorical? Was that more literal? I'm not sure. I haven't seen a lot of mountains moved, but I do know some crazy things have happened. Now, I'm going to address 3 things. Number 1, suffering. The problem of suffering on this earth. All right, and I addressed this problem with him. For me, I've gone through a lot of suffering. I've had a tough life. For me, if there's no comfort that after this life there's something more, all my suffering will have been for nothing. And at the same time, is suffering not punished? Is suffering more so not, and he came to the thing, well, there's always going to be suffering. Why do we need God? Things don't, more people believing in Jesus, isn't going to change everything or whatever. I believe that if people truly followed the teachings of Christ, things would change, because he called people to love one another, to care for one another. Paul said, true religion is this: an orphan being cared for, all right? A widow being cared for. That is true religion. What's up, bro? Love you guys.
Love you too, man.
Keep running. Buddies of mine. So I argue that if we truly followed Christ, we would act as so. And the main issue is that people don't follow Christ. Those who do, don't. If you're a true Christian, I expect this of you. I expect you to care for those in distress. I expect you to put God first and not your own desires, to put away your flesh. That is not of a place of judgment, but that is if you have true faith, if you want to be in the same heaven that I hope to be. That's what Jesus says you have to do. In fact, a rich man came to Jesus saying, "O teacher, I want to come follow you. What must I do?" He says, "Well, have you kept the 10 Commandments?" He says, "Yes, I've kept the 10 Commandments. I've done them all." He said, "Okay, you want to be perfect? Go and sell everything and give it to the poor." And then right after that it says, "And he went away, weeping, for he had many things." Jesus says, the first will be last and the last will be first. I believe that the only true comfort we can have in this world is that there will be something more, because there is always going to be injustice and suffering. Jesus came to end that injustice and that suffering when he died on the cross. Did it make all our problems go away right now? As nice as it would be, sadly no. But he says there will be a second coming. He will vanquish evil. He will restore himself righteously on the throne. Number 2, evil. I believe the evil is real. When we say something is evil, we have nothing to support it. Most of us, especially as seculars. We have nothing to support it. And that's because if you're secular, there is no evil. It just is. There is no good, so there is no evil, because morality is subjective. Like I said, you don't need God to be moral, but you do need God to be morally objective. Now, this isn't a problem for most, but if you think about it consistently, you come to the conclusion that what I make up is simply what I make up, and the next guy, he can make up something different. If I say murder is wrong, he says it's right, he can go ahead and murder whoever he wants, because everyone's right. Everyone has their own moral subjective. But I believe that there is something higher than the government, higher than my own self, my own consciousness, because I don't believe I'm perfect. I don't believe I have the perfect mind. I don't believe I can think of all the perfect things. Therefore, how can I, a simple human being, come up with a moral objective? And that's why I think we need God. Number 3, life after death. I believe in a soul. I believe that we have souls, and there's something beyond our minds. I don't think that people simply die when they die. I think there's something more to us. Is there not love? Does a mother not love her child, or is it simply brain chemicals? This I pose. Is there not life after death? Has eternity not been written on the hearts of man? Do you not yearn for eternity yourself? I can understand the idea that eternity would suck, that heaven couldn't compare, but perhaps it's that there's more. Perhaps it's the 2 babies in the womb. One says to the other, "There's nothing beyond mother." Surely the science has proven that food comes from the womb, and we breathe through the amniotic sac. But I say this to you, as the second baby. Can't you tell? Mother is everywhere. She's all around. We can sense her. We can feel her. In addition to that, will there not be things beyond? Will we not breathe air? Will we not eat food with our mouths? Will we not move with our body and run and play? Is there not more than in the womb? This I pose to you. I hope you take these things truly into your hearts. I hope they change you. I hope you think about them. I know they've changed me. Have an amazing day. Jesus loves you.